All right, so I'm not really trying to hate on other ND filters. I just get irritated by some of them because if you don't have a hard stop, you run into this weird pattern. Let's see if I can get this to work, where it shows this weird X right there in the middle. And the problem with this is that you run into the issue of being outdoors, okay? And you can't see your screen very well, so you have this cross that this filter has given you due to the lack of it having a hard stop. Now, I want to show you what I would say a premium filter looks like. This is the Nano Pro Mist VND filter. So we have a 1/8 mist plus 1.5 to 5 stops of light deduction from the filter itself. And one of the reasons that I love this filter so much, other than that we have the mist, is that it has hard stops. So this is as far as you can go. This is as far as you can go, which is super powerful because you don't want that weird pattern in the middle of your frame, especially if you're outdoors. This is something that mitigates the problem of having that issue. And I think that it's worth paying the extra money so you don't have to come back to your home or your editing studio, whatever you have, to see that your footage is unusable or you just hate it. And this is something that has definitely knocked that out for me. I love this filter. And then you have the mist, which you can see our lights over here are looking pretty great in my opinion. Here's a few reasons that I would definitely recommend getting a filter like this with a mist. Is because one, you don't have to stack. Stacking is annoying, and then you just have to carry more filters than you really need. And something like this, everything's in one package. And I love that. Less is more. It's probably about the same price as actually buying a mist filter and a variable ND filter, but you have them all together, so you don't need the two. I'm not saying this is going to replace a mist filter, especially for photographers, because you probably won't need the variable ND that much for a photographer. But speaking of photography, I have used this quite a lot for photography, and I'll show you a few images that I took with it. There's also no color casting with this filter because they are using premium materials and it just looks great. There's no weird magenta or greens that you have to worry about over processing whenever you are post processing. And I think that's very important whenever you're looking at a variable ND filter. And Haida makes a ton of filters, and I feel like they're often overlooked due to the Peter McKinnons of the world out there that are so good at marketing. And Haida seems to be kind of lost in the mix of things sometimes, and you just don't hear a lot of people talking about them, and I don't know why. And hopefully this video will help them to get some clout out there, because they definitely deserve it due to the amount of filters that they actually have and how good they really are. I'll definitely check them out, link below, check them out. The mist in the filter obviously gives us this soft look, and clients love that. I've actually shot 2 commercials so far with this and a few YouTube videos with this, including the one that you're watching right now. And I've shot a ton of photos with this thing as well. We're gonna be popping them up on the screen as you're watching it, and hopefully you enjoy them. Tons of black and whites. I was going through a phase. I keep going through phases. That's just part of my life. So I hope you enjoy those photos. Long exposures with this obviously is a very good thing to have. Because I like to shoot a lot of documentary style photos, and sometimes you have to slow down the shutter speed to get people walking and movement and show things that are actually happening. I think that's a really powerful thing to have. And if you only have the ability to do f/16 at 1/20th of a second, that's not enough. So once you throw one of these on, you can actually cut the aperture back, and you can slow down your shutter speed a lot more, which is very, very useful, especially if you like the mist of this filter, which is subtle, but at the same time, it depends on how the light hits it. It gives off a really, really nice glow to your image, and I think that is beautiful. Obviously use this for video. I think that's what most people would pick one of these up for, but if you're a hybrid shooter like myself, it's just a necessity, I think, to have. I've kept this on for video and photos that I was going back and forth, and I loved the output that this thing has given me. 100% recommend one of these if you're looking for something like this. Stop stacking, get something that just works well, keep it simple, and this thing is high praises over here is all I'm saying. It's cool. I mean, I just love that look of the softness, and it just looks this looks good. This is helpful to keep your videos and your photos cohesive throughout your look, because if you're shooting in a certain way, I think it's important to keep it that way. So cohesiveness is something that ND filters, variable ND filters, bring to the table. And if you're shooting with the mist, it'll also look like that once you walk outside as well. These are a few reasons that I like this filter. It is premium, and I mean, it's cool. I like it a lot. And like I said, I have a ton of Haida filters, including the one that we're shooting. I have drop-in filters by them for my 14 to 24, which are just normal filters because you can't have a variable ND filter for drop-in filters. But I also have the light pollution filter that they have. That's a drop-in filter. They also have this in other ways, not just drop-in. So if you're trying to cut down on noise pollution, this is a must-have, I think. For anybody that does any kind of astrophotography. I'll show you a photo that I took with this, and it actually works a lot better than I was expecting it to. I've also done a video on this one, which you'll check out over here. This is a beautiful filter. I mean, the way that they built this thing with this hard stop, I love the knob that it came with. It's just so satisfying. This is actually a circular polarizer and an ND filter built in together. Definitely check out the last video that I did on this. So as Haida has the circular polarizer filter and ND filter built into each other as one unit, I think it'd be really cool if they could come up with a mist filter that was also variable with an ND filter. So it'd all be built in, and it would be the ultimate 2-in-1, because you could get so much out of something like that. So if I wanted to go from 1/8 to 1/4 to 1/2 mist, that would be something that it seems like it could be possible. And yeah, I think that'd be really cool to have. Filters are hard to talk about, but they all have their place in this world, and I definitely recommend checking out Haida. Just look at their stuff. I mean, they're great. They really are. I'll never use another one, especially if they keep sending them to me. I'm really genuinely interested to know what the viewers of my channel think about the videos and the things that I'm actually doing reviews on. Is this something that you would be interested in as far as a filter? I just really am curious. So thank you guys for subscribing and hanging out with me today. So I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Mom! I don't know what I want to wear. It's okay, babe. Just pick out a few things and Saxon will help you figure it out. Okay. Hurry up, babe. We're going to be late. Coming.
It's so much fun to sit there and think about it and ponder how I can really make a cake to encapsulate exactly what these people are looking for. And I think, you know, more than anything, what I've learned from this experience thus far is that if you've got something that you're interested in, might as well try it out. Make testers, you know, find friends that you could make a cake for their birthday, or if you're really into baking or decorating or anything like that, there's no reason not to try.